you've worked with like other have you worked with like other publishers or events organizers here in Cebu? What's your
I've actually
experience
worked
there?
I've actually worked with I've tried setting up my own events back when I was 17, and then I also worked with Beat This PH.
Uh-huh.
It's a community of musicians who make their music through the computer software I mentioned. And we set up events here and there around bars in the city, like Trademark, Troy, and we've had really successful runs in the past. And we were supposed to have our third anniversary last June and have an event for that, but sadly, the lockdown happened, so we didn't push through with that.
Yeah, but like kind ba. So I was listening to your music, right? And
Hmm.
it does have like a club vibe. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it should be played in a club, right? And when that's not happening anytime soon, what have you been doing to like kanang move forward? 'Cause I know
Get.
you recently released Maria, right?
Yep.
And good song. Uh, like I said, I feel like you should be in a club,
In clubs.
right? But obviously that was probably written way
Prior to
before.
the lockdown.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. No? And shot way before clearly because you're outside.
Yep.
No? But what have you been thinking about like in terms of moving forward with your music?
Actually, it was amazing that in like last around, I think April or so, I was browsing through social media and I follow these club pages where I usually perform. And they've been doing live streams at home. Like the DJs have their home setup and then they live stream it and make it feel like it's still a club.
Oh yeah? And
Yeah, so
so what did you
I've
do?
s- I, I've sent out my music to those DJs that I know since I've had my songs played in a club before, and so I know the DJs. So I just said, hey, I got a new track, and I've noticed that you've been doing a lot of live stream shows, and I'd love if you could have my track played on your show.
Yeah, that's you know what, Bay. That's really smart. No, that's really smart. I think kanaba. It seems to me kay, I remember when I'm gonna the way I when I have like these music interviews by the way what I do is I end up talking a lot about my experience in my
Yeah.
band because really that's all I have, right? And and I remember that back in the day kami like I mentioned like we were in a band we just wanted to have fun, right? And we didn't
Mhm.
really take it that seriously, but the one who did take it seriously was our lead singer. His name's Mark Cortez, and McCoy, that's what we called him. He did a lot of what you are doing, like really reaching out to people, really trying to at the time he was the one who got us gigs. At that time we wanted to play when we were still relatively new. We wanted to play the Outpost. That was a big goal for us. And then he got us that gig, and then after getting us that gig, then we
Ah,
just played there all the time. You know? And that's really important to just have somebody. You still there?
that
It's really
internet.
important to have somebody do all that. What were you gonna say?
Mhm. The Outpost was a place where bands just gather around, right? If I've talked to some people about it, and they mentioned that it was the place to be if you were a band member.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, it's not around anymore. But yeah, there was a lot of
Mhm.
people who have people like me who have fond memories of the place. No, you're too young to have been
Yeah.
there probably, but anyway, but
Mhm.
the but I was saying it's like really important to have that person who like really works and reaches out to other people because I feel like that's not in a way celebrated, you know? They
Mhm.
don't a lot of people
Correct.
don't realize how much work, gets to how much work goes into all of that. And it's clear that like you have been doing that also. Like you were just thinking about sending your tracks to DJs. Who else have? In a way, that's a lot like of what you do, I guess. No, the music PR,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. I just apply what I learned in my job, and I apply it to my own music as well.
And so who are like good people to reach out to? Like, let's say you want your music to get heard to all of these other people, or just get your story out there. Who you
Hmm.
usually what are like the good avenues of people to reach out to?
Really, when it comes to the Philippines, as compared to Australia, they have multiple publications that do cover stuff related to music. But in the Philippines, we have less number compared to Australia. So for me, I've actually recently reached out to the Freeman, and they did a feature on me, and then I found that through the Thursday issue. It was it was a feature about my song, and I was so surprised to see that.
Mm.
And apart from that, apart from newspapers, we recently started our own website where in which we cover musicians that for Beat This PH, where we cover musicians that make music through computer software. So I do write the features there. I do I do like the write ups there. I talk about the musician. I talk about their track, and then I talk about the music videos they put out. So it is a noteworthy thing that you should reach out to publications that do this. And as well as other places that you could reach out to are like radio stations as well. And if you're someone like me who creates music in the hip hop genre, then you should also reach out to clubs.
To like clubs mismo. Why to get to play there or?
Yeah, that's actually it's such an amazing story to tell. Like when I was 17, I had my event in Morals and Malice.
Hmm.
I think you know that club.
Yeah, I've never been there,
So
but yeah.
so it was actually so funny that I just walked up to the club and then I said like, "Hey, I'm a musician and I want to set up my event. Do who is the right person to speak with?" And you can imagine the 17-year-old guy just going through there and like they were just shocked. Like this guy looks so young. Like why is he talking to us?
You're
And
technically
then
not allowed to buy a drink there.
nope. And I was 16 that time since I did the event on my 17th birthday. And then it was so surprising when the manager there was actually the mom of a good friend of mine. So, and then she was like, "Oh, Trevor, you're like the classmate of my daughter." So I was like, and like, yeah, let's set up an event. And then I did that event, and it was such a success. It was one of the first events that I set up myself. And another amazing story that came out of that night was I went to this club called Trademark. That's in Mandaue City. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, have never been there.
Yes. Also, I've never been there. So, yeah, so the owner is actually from San Francisco. So he's worked with a lot of the hip hop artists there in San Francisco. And so after that event at Morals and Malice, you know, I think it was the election period, so it was actually a liquor ban. So me and my friends were like, okay, let's transfer clubs. Like it's gonna be liquor ban by 12. Let's go to Trademark. I heard they don't apply the liquor ban there. So we went there, and I was in this get up, like I was in a suit, and I saw the owner at the DJ booth, and then my friends just dared me to like go ask him if you can perform, and then you just came from your show, so you're typically high on your ego,
Yeah.
like you're feeling pretty good about yourself. So I just went up to the owner and I was like, "Hey, I'm an artist. I'm a hip hop artist. My name's Trev, and would you be down to set up an event with me?" And to my surprise, he loved my guts. And then now we work closely together. We've been setting up events in Trademark, and I'm so happy that I actually had the guts to just reach out to him. Okay, got
Oh, I feel like a lot of times that's what it takes, no? Kanang just have the guts to do it.
that's really a problem because your network as a musician is your net worth.
Yeah, so like how did you Tsunibay? Like I can't imagine at age 16, 17 I had the like, I can't imagine that you would have like for me I'm trying to think about when I was at that age, and when I was at that age I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't really know Uh, I didn't really have any of that ambition, and also
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I don't think I would have had that confidence to just go up to somebody
Club
and
owner.
just talk to them and do all of that. So where did that come from? How did you you know like even
How did
morals
I
and
get that?
malice, like even just that, like even just the morals and malice one, like because back when I was younger, it seemed to me like those were these places that I wouldn't understand and I didn't know how they work.
Mhm.
Now that I'm older, I know that okay, it's just some dude. It's just a person
It's
who
just a person.
yeah, yeah. But back when you're really young, you don't really know that. At least I didn't. No. Why how do you think that you got that in a way courage to do that? Or did it
I think
feel did you feel
mhm,
fear or not even?
there's always fear when doing that. Like, but you just have to put that fear back, and then you just have to go up to them and show them what you got.
Mm. So you didn't even think, you were just like, let's just do it.
Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. That was all what was in my head.
Yeah, that is a really good trait to have, man, especially when you're young, because
Hmm.
you just you learn a lot of things a lot faster than everybody else because you're gonna put yourself out there, you'll make mistakes, and but at the same time you learn a lot, and you're just taking one little step forward every time, right? No.
Yep.